Hola a todos y bienvenidos un día más al canal Crónicas de una Merodeadora. Hoy vengo con el tercer reto de los juegos de Booktube, así que empecemos. Bueno, antes que nada quiero decirles que, maldita sea, odié este reto porque uno, ya había hecho un book trailer, dos, no se me ocurría nada, tres, estuve de viaje 2 días por fuera, así que ha sido terrible, no se me ocurrió nada mejor, creo que quedó un poco horroroso, pero ok, esto lo estoy diciendo sin haberlo editado, así que bueno, espero que salga algo decente y pues no creo que les sorprenda el book trailer que hice, así que bueno, entra clip.
It was night again. The Waystone Inn lay in silence, and it was a silence of 3 parts. The most obvious part was hollow, echoing quiet, made by things that were lacking. If there had been a wind, it would have sighed through the trees, set the inn sign creaking on its hooks, and brushed the silence down the road like trailing autumn leaves. If there had been a crowd, even a handful of men inside the inn, they would have filled the silence with conversation and laughter, the clatter and clamor one expects from a drinking house during the dark hours of night. If there had been music, but no, of course there was no music. In fact, there were none of these things, and so the silence remained. Inside the Waystone, a pair of men huddled at one corner of the bar. They drank with quiet determination, avoiding serious discussions of troubling news. In doing this, they added a small, sullen silence to the larger, hollow one. It made an alloy of sorts, a counterpoint. The third silence was not an easy thing to notice. If you listened for an hour, you might begin to feel it in the wooden floor underfoot and in the rough, splintering barrels behind the bar. It was in the weight of the black stone hearth that held the heat of a long dead fire. It was in the slow back and forth of a white linen cloth roving along the grain of the bar. And it was in the hands of the man who stood there, polishing a stretch of mahogany that already gleamed in the lamplight. The man had true red hair, red as flame. His eyes were dark and distant, and he moved with the subtle certainty that comes from knowing many things. The Waystone was his, just as the third silence was his. This was appropriate, as it was the greatest silence of the 3, wrapping the others inside itself. It was deep and wide as autumn's ending. It was heavy as a great river smooth stone. It was the patient, cut-flower sound of a man who is waiting to die.
Espero que les haya gustado este book trailer, no sé, díganme en los comentarios qué les pareció. Creo que no es mi mejor reto, pero oye, hice lo que pude con el tiempo que pude y con la imaginación que me queda en este momento, así que bueno, nada, no se olviden de darle like a este video, suscribirse a mi canal, darle a la campanita porque YouTube está loco y ya no está avisando cuando están saliendo los videos. Tampoco se olviden de seguirme en mis redes sociales que tengo Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads y Snapchat. Tengo un video con un gran sorteo que acabo de subir y bueno, no siento más lo que les tengo que decir, nos vemos en el video de mañana y hasta entonces, ¡Nox!